I called you, I don't know, half an hour ago, and I told you I was at the bridge terminal, and the police advised me to sit and wait for them, that they were on their way. And they've since then moved the bus to another bus stop. And now they're telling me that they've talked to the police and claiming that you're saying that you're not coming. And I told the Metro Transit that I was advised by the police to wait for the police. So now the Metro Transit is telling me that they're calling the police because I won't get off the bus. And I was told by the police to wait for them. So what's the story? You guys said you're coming down, and you told me to wait for you, and then I'm being told by Metro Transit that you're not coming, and you could have called me back on my cell phone telling me you're not coming, but you didn't do that. So yes, go ahead. Not you. Sure, thank you. I guess that's why I'm right by the Sportsplex now. Bus 61. It's a long story. When they arrived at the bus terminal, the driver, I said I want to get off the bus, and he wouldn't let me off, so he was going to take me to Halifax. And then I said, well, I don't want to go to Halifax, and he didn't offer to turn the bus around in the bus in front of the Sportsplex. I just see a van pulling up now. All right, thank you. I guess that. Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Oh yeah, I know. Hi Dan, what's going on?
Well, it wasn't really a big deal.
Fill me in.
When I was coming down this road, I forgot to pull the dinger. Like I was just passing, I wanted to get off there.
Yep.
And then he goes all the way around and he pulls up to the concrete platform at the bus terminal. I've had other bus drivers let me off there, not because I set it up that way, just because they had to, but anyway. He's sitting there at the platform. There's nobody in front of the bus. It's not blocking. There's not a bunch of people on the platform. And he knew that I didn't want to go to Halifax because I forgot to pull the dinger. So I said to him, well, can you please let me off the bus here? He said, well, I can't do that. I said, why not? He said, because I'm not going to. He said, I'm going to drive you to Halifax. I said, I'm not going to Halifax, and if you move this bus beyond this point and don't let me off here, then you're kidnapping me. I have the same rights as everyone else. And that platform up there is perfectly safe for wheelchairs. I've been on it before. And then the nightmare continued because he started moving the bus. And when he started moving the bus is when I called the police. Because I told them, I said, if you take me to Halifax and you don't let me off right here, you are kidnapping me because I'm not going to allow you to do that. I'm not going to Halifax. And the reason why I'm doing all this is because I do have a human rights complaint against Metro Transit that was filed more than 6 months ago about these issues. I was told it was 3 months to investigate. It's been 6 months. They are deliberately burying this thing. And I told Metro Transit it's very simple. You discriminate against people in wheelchairs. You don't do that to anyone else. Anybody standing at a bus stop, okay, who wants to get on a bus is allowed to. Me, I go through this every day where I live up of Galaxy Road Avenue. I sat there for 45 minutes on the street, freezing again today. One bus after another is going by. They're all wheelchair accessible. I'm at an accessible bus stop, and where I want to go was right here, which is another accessible bus stop. All those buses could have taken me here, and they were all just driving past me. I go through this every single day.
What are your wishes today?
Well, actually, if the man had just let me off the bus there, it would have been great. Or if he told me he was willing to drive me around, which he didn't do, and then the inspector, long after I called you guys, came over and said, well, I'm willing to do that. Then I said, well, I have to do what the police told me because they told me to wait for them.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with the policies. I'm just, and hear me out, I'm just going by what the gentleman said.
Which gentleman? One inspector?
Three of them, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Apparently this is the wheelchair accessible stop. I don't know because I'm not in the wheelchair, so I can't speak to that. That this is the stop that you're supposed to be let out at, because I guess that stop doesn't have a proper ramp or that type of facility. So I don't know that. I don't know. This is the first time.
I'm just letting you know it's not true. I've been let off. There's nothing wrong with that platform.
And I don't know. I don't know. I can't speak to that. So it's what they're telling me and what you're telling me. So. You know, if you feel you have a valid complaint with them, then follow up on it and go from there. But I can't speak one way or the other.
I know. Look, I'm not a violent person. I never have been. I talk loud because I don't breathe well because my whole rib cage is crushed. So all my muscles are all dead on my body. So breathing is really hard to begin with. So when I get talking, I'm loud. And I tell people, when you hear me talking, it sounds aggressive. I said, listen to my words. Don't listen to the tone of how it sounds aggressive, because I have to breathe very aggressively all day long, even when I'm not talking.
Well, you're not yelling now, or
no, but no. This is the volume that I talk at. It's just to be able to breathe when I'm talking, and it's to a lot of people it's loud. But I'm not trying to be loud. But you know, the thing is, I've had enough with Metro Transit doing this to me. Okay?
Yeah, that's not.
I know,
yeah,
but
we're not here for that.
You know, the day that this changed for me, okay, is when I was up. I live at Gaston Road. From Gaston Road all the way up past Canadian Tire, all the way up Cold Harbour, every single bus shelter is not wheelchair accessible. None of them are level with the sidewalk, and they've got a gap. Okay, not one, including this one.
Again, that's not.
But
that's
how would you feel? How would you feel if one day you're sitting there at a bus stop? There's these big heavy wires on top of you. There's a bus shelter behind you. You can't get in it because there's a gap this wide, and I can't get in it. And there's the most horrible storm you can imagine. The buses are only going by once an hour, and we're talking about huge drops coming off these wires. I was soaking wet like you wouldn't believe. And I'll tell you, that's the day I had enough. Because if I had a dog or I saw an animal out in a storm, I'd bring them in. All these buses, in an emergency, they should have picked me up and dropped me off at the Penhorn thing where there's a shelter. They should have done so. Right. Well, that's the day. That's the day that everything changed. And from then on, I started doing what Metro Transit required. I filed the paperwork, I did all the I did everything, and nothing has changed. And nothing is ever going to change because Metro Transit is getting away with lying to the public.
Again,
I'm the one that had, I know, I am the one that had the public hearings booked, okay? And then when they had those, they advertised.
We're not here about that.
Oh, I know.
Okay,
I've talked to the mayor about it.
You're rambling.
No, I'm not rambling.
Yes, you are.
I'm just showing you that I've gone through a lot.
Dealing with today,
well,
and if you have a complaint with them, you know, I'm hoping that that process will.
Right now, everything's fine.
So.
Look, I'm willing to get off this bus, but I had to wait for you guys to show up because that's what I was told by 911, which is what I told them.
Yep.
So everything's fine with me, but I wish the driver had just let me off. He even told me he was going to turn around because the idea I've already spent.
You had that particular driver before?
No.
Maybe he, according to them, again, all I'm telling you is according to them, that their policy to have wheelchairs are to be let off here because of the ramp. I can't tell you whether that's right or wrong, and maybe he's following policy and other drivers are trying to accommodate you. So sometimes you'll get that. Other drivers will say, yeah, sure, we'll let you off here because it's more convenient for you. And this driver just follows policy to the T.
It's not the driver. I have no problems with the driver.
Yeah.
Not at all. I told the driver, I said, this has got nothing to do with you. Yeah. I said, most of the Metro Transit drivers, I would say 98% of them are excellent people.
Some are going to accommodate you. And
it's not about that. No. Look,
right.
I don't have problems with the drivers. I get along with them all of them. So, once in a while, you might get one with a bad attitude. But the thing is, look, what happened today is that I was already sitting there for 45 minutes up there. I missed the stop by a matter of seconds. And the idea of going all the way around back to Halifax, and I would have taken me 2.5 hours.
Your route wasn't good as it was.
Well, already because I've gone through this too often, right? And I mean, he was sitting at the platform. He was level with the sidewalk. There was no reason why he couldn't drop that ramp.
Yeah, and I can't. It's their operation, and I can't say one way or the other. Like I said, I can only speak from experience. Well, you know, we try to follow our policies and procedures to the letter. So there's no prejudice on anybody or looking that way. You know, this driver, this is my policy, and this is what I have to do. And other drivers, yeah, sure, Dan, we'll let you off here, right? No big deal if that's what you want to do. So I can't.
For me to go from
Can't
here
say
to there
one
in a
way or the
wheelchair, it only takes a few seconds. Wheelchair,
Absolutely.
But it's not about the distance or anything like that. It's because I didn't ring it in time. I saw it coming, and I didn't ring it in time, and he was just past it, and I said I wanted to get off at that stop. I mean, he could have just stopped right there on that platform right there and let me off. See right there? There's one right there. Right there, past that post. He would have been able to do it when I said it to him, but he just kept driving. So other people, when they were screaming for the, oh, I want this, stop, the driver, stop for them. Well, he didn't do it for me. It doesn't matter. Look, it's not about the driver anyway.
We've dealt with this before, and it's not just a handicap issue with wheelchairs. It's also with people. We've had complaints that somebody's been running after the bus in a heavy rain and it hasn't stopped, and the driver won't stop. So, you know, I've handled different complaints over the years.
I know. Like I said, it's not about the driver, okay?
Yeah.
It's about him following the policies of Metro Transit, and I've already filed the paperwork against Metro Transit, and they're ignoring it.
Well, we're holding up this driver.
Well, I know, but I'm willing to get off to get in this. It's going to be pouring rain now. I'm going to get wet because I would have been there an hour and a half ago.
Well, it's just spitting now, so
it doesn't matter. In a wheelchair, you get wind chill, and I'll get soaked.
So how do we help you here?
Well, he's got on hook at the driver.
Yeah, because I don't know.
No.
It looks like they strap you in, is it?
Oh, yeah.
I'll bring the driver in then.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And believe me, I didn't set this up, and I didn't plan on doing any of this.
Is the driver there? Yes. We'll have the driver.